Hi everyone, Nikki here. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to be creating Peony Tea Lights. They're super cute. Takes a couple steps, so make sure to pay attention to the video just so you can get the right tips. I'll turn it on so you can see how cute it is with the light. Alright, so we're making 3 of these each. So go ahead and grab your kits, grab your glue guns, and get them plugged in because we're going to be using them right away, and let's get started. Okay, so I prepared everything pretty nicely in your kits. I cut up spoons. You're going to be using 4 spoon tops for each peony tea light. And then I took apart some petals, flowers that we had ordered. So you're just going to need some scissors because we're going to be cutting those. And then everyone got some green leaves and then 3 tea lights. Just test your tea lights. I did test them to make sure they're working because we'll be gluing right onto there, so we want to make sure. You can change the batteries to these if they ever run out. Okay, so grab your glue gun. And the first thing we're going to be doing is let's get our petals all cut. So yeah, I just basically cut across here. And then it's actually best to do like a flat cut, flat edge that is, because it's going to be going on the bottom here. So I had to like trim mine because I had made them a little bit shaped. So yeah, so just flat edge right across each petal.
Hello, how are you?
All right.
Good, good. You know, we're going on a trip, but it's not from the library. We're going to the Botanic Garden. Did you do it last year or was it the village?
No, I think I was the village.
Okay.
Oh, it was.
So I'm just trimming all my flower petals.
We're doing this kind of museum.
All right, and then same thing with the leaves. We're going to be using the attaching these at the end. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're doing a do as you please trip, so whatever you want. Brian Park.
Okay. So go ahead and get your petals all like cut and measured on the edge there, nice and flat, and then we'll start attaching them. Okay, so I have my flower petals all cut up and separated. This should be plenty, but if not, I've got a couple extra. So first thing we're gonna do is actually try to find like your larger ones to start with, and we're gonna be gluing them onto the round back of each spoon. So that'll be like the little base to our flower tea light. Don't need a ton of glue, and the plastic's actually strong enough that it shouldn't melt. So yeah, the important part is that it goes all the way up over the top of the spoon. See how it kind of like curls up like that? Just so it covers it up. If this part's a little exposed, that's okay because we're gonna be putting extra petals over that. So, do all 4 of them. Like I said, 4 spoons per tea light. And the important part is that it's covered at the top. There we go, okay? Be super careful. This is definitely a risky one with the burn. If you have gloves or something, that's great. Okay. So I'll just do all 4 of these. So the hardest part is getting the spoons attached. Once that's done, it's kind of downhill because you can just kind of plop the petals on as you see fit. Have that nice and covered. Okay, and then one more. Okay. Thin layer of glue, nothing too crazy. Let me make sure here that I have a nice bigger petal. Yeah, there's a variety of petal sizes, but we want our largest ones for the base. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to attach our spoons to our tea light. Okay, so since we have 4 of them, we're just gonna go around in order. And they're gonna kind of overlap, and at first you might be like, is this gonna work? But as we add more and more petals to it, it works out perfect. So one little thing too is when you attach them, maybe just hang tight and make sure it's really on there. There we go. That's basically what I just did like that. And just give it, 10-15 seconds, make sure it's really on there. So you're gonna be like, oh wow, that's really pushing in, but we'll make it work as we go around. And I try to make them evenly spaced out. So you can kind of look at the bottom and be like, okay, this is a quarter turn around. Don't need a ton of glue because they're super lightweight. Okay. And especially when you get down to the last one, you really want to hold it on there and make sure that it's attached fully. Okay. And then once we have this done, it's just basically filling it in with petals. I found this video online and I was a little worried how it would come out. I wasn't quite sure when I ordered the flowers and stuff, but they came out super cute. All right. Make sure that's nice and on there, perfect. And then I'm gonna kind of turn it over and look to see that it's right across from it, just so I'm keeping it even. And don't worry about the white spoon part that's exposed right now, because we're gonna cover that up with plenty of petals. This is when it gets tricky because the spoons kind of start to push into each other. So just really make sure it's nice and secure before going on to the last one. I'm holding that tightly. It took me a while to make these kits because I had to cut all these flowers apart and detach them, and then cut all the spoons, and the base of the spoons were flying all over the place, but we got it done. Okay, and one more. So this is the one that I really want to make sure to hold till it's completely dry, just because it's going to be kind of sticking out funny. Okay. There we go. All right. So really hold that on there. As you can see, they're pretty much evenly around. Excellent. Okay, so now we have the base of our peony. Okay, so now you're gonna be taking more of the larger petals, and you're gonna go around, and just doesn't have to be any sort of rhyme or reason. You're just gonna wanna cover up all the white of the tea light as well as the spoon. So I just, you know, they're super lightweight, little glue. Be careful. And if they're like really sticking out, you could add a tiny bit of glue, you know, up here to just attach it. Like I said, doesn't have to be super, you know, regimented in the design, because we're just plopping them on there and letting them cover each other up layer by layer. Okay, and the last step will be to attach the leaves. Okay. And then there's even some smaller ones we can kind of add in later as we complete our flower. Okay. Great. Super cute and springy. All right. This one's kind of sticking out. There we go. They kind of naturally curl in, but like I said, if any got a little folded or funky, you can kind of just glue them down as you go. Okay. So I'm just covering up my base as I go around. Careful not to burn myself. Oh, this one actually is gonna go this way. So it doesn't curl in. Perfect. So cute. Okay, this one's being stubborn on me. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Needed a little more glue. Here. If any of them are sticking out funny on the base, we can trim it after with our scissors. Alright, this one's definitely going to need a little glue up here just to keep it in place. Hopefully you have enough petals. I definitely have extras if you need, so you can always give me a buzz if you feel like you're short on petals. So let's take a look here. It's coming along nice. A couple of them just need some glue up higher because they're flying away. Okay. All right, isn't that super cute? Yeah, this section got a little funky on me. I'm gonna do another petal over this just to cover it up. We'll attach our leaves in a little bit. Do a little one here. Okay, so yeah, now's the time. Just add a little, maybe dop of glue on some of the layers if they're kind of sticking out too much or falling over. And then you could even, if you wanted to really fluff your flower up, take some of these smaller petals and you could even just plop them in there with no glue to kind of fill up the flower. Make it nice and vibrant. Okay. All right, excellent. That should be good. All right, I think this looks good enough. Now, the best thing to do is like to pick a place maybe that's a little sloppy looking if there's like some glue clumps to attach your leaves. So I'm definitely gonna put one here because I had a little bit of a mishap. Oh, my glue got a little clumpy. And the leaves kind of cover it up nice. So you should have enough to do maybe a couple of them with 3 and then a couple of them with 2. It's kind of nice to have like a little variety. Okay. This one got super clumpy, so I'm gonna put 3 on here. And one over here. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, try to get my glue strings off of here. Alright, perfect. And there it is. Lovely. Hope you enjoyed this craft and you had fun making our Peony Tea Lights. I'll be seeing you soon for another craft and hope you have a great day. Thanks everyone.